Hey guys, a very good evening to all my crypto believers. So, have you all been curious about what's happening in the market? Don't you worry, the CoinMonks got you covered. Okay, so before starting with the updates, let's quickly go today's headlines. Jack Dorsey on UBI. Bitcoin encourages transparency, long term thinking. Ted Cruz buys the Bitcoin dip. Golden Gate University establishes blockchain law for social goods center to aid regulation. Gas-free transactions will revolutionize Web3. So let's start off with our refresh feed. Firstly, Arika Rhodes, a US congressional candidate and a full-time elementary school teacher, spoke with Twitter co-founder and Block, formerly Square, CEO Jack Dorsey on the implications of a Bitcoin-powered universal basic income approach. Let's find out what has to say. The lack of openness in the present centralized banking system drives and incentivizes individuals to engage in undesirable activities that don't benefit them, their community, or their families, added Dorsey. If there's one thing to remember about Bitcoin, it's that the operations, the code, and the policy are all transparent. Dorsey feels that the Bitcoin Foundation has the ability to tackle a variety of use cases and challenges that have arisen as a result of the use of fiat money. The entrepreneur has spent over $55 million in UBI experiments in the US and abroad through company initiatives such as Start Small. Dorsey's Bitcoin-powered UBI experiment will entail establishing a small-scale, closed-loop community of sellers and merchants who follow Bitcoin's rules. He plans to discover use cases for wide-scale adoption based on the happiness quotient and desire to engage. Rhodes is convinced that incorporating Bitcoin will lower the expenses associated with banking fees. Having a network like Lightning, where you can transact for extremely minimal costs, is a win-win situation for everyone. It makes no difference where you are economically. In terms of financial literacy, Dorsey claims that adopting the Bitcoin standard instills long-term thinking, yet, depending on the outcomes of continuing trials, his pessimism against a BTC-powered universal basic income will diminish. Along with the advantages of the Bitcoin standard, Dorsey is equally concerned about its drawbacks. He concluded by pointing out inefficiencies in government policy and how UBI might help address some of the issues. So moving ahead with our next segment, apparently Senator Raffle Ted Cruz of Texas, a junior Republican, is putting his money where his mouth is. Let's decode this statement. Cruz purchased between $15,000 and $50,000 worth of Bitcoin on January 25th, according to a financial report filed on Friday, February 4th. Bitcoin was selling between $36,000 and $37,000 at the time, and it has since increased to its current price of roughly $41,600. His current profit on the purchase is in the range of $2,000 to $6,850, assuming he hasn't sold his Bitcoins and paid for any short-term capital gains taxes. As his state profited from an inflow of Bitcoin mining businesses and interest in the issue grew, Cruz spent much of the latter half of the crypto bull run connecting himself with the blockchain and cryptocurrency industries. He has lobbied for the acceptance of cryptocurrency payments in gift shops and vending machines throughout the United States Capitol complex, and he has spoken out against a provision in the recent infrastructure bill that critics say would broaden the definition of a broker to include miners, validators, and coders. So moving ahead with our next segment, Golden Gate University School of Law has partnered with the Algorand Foundation to create a one-of-a-kind center to address the three pillars of community, education, research, and policy when growing the knowledge base of attorneys. Let's have a look at what exactly happened. The Blockchain Law for Social Good Center, according to Michael Nitz, the incoming faculty director, wants to dispel regulatory skepticism by providing lawmakers with a thorough first-hand understanding of the blockchain and crypto sectors. She went on to say that the center will be a step towards financial inclusion because politicians would recognize what the industry has to offer as blockchain developers continue to build new solutions to address current imbalances. The Algorand Foundation is providing a $300,000 foundational grant to the center in order to develop transparent and inclusive technologies for a borderless economy. Hugo Crowkes anticipates the facility becoming a blockchain law hub that will help businesses, attorneys, government organizations, and legislators. According to the chief researcher and director of the Algorand Centers of Excellence program, the Blockchain Law for Social Good Center is a great illustration of how blockchain technology can be used in a variety of fields while simultaneously encouraging social impact initiatives. Learning institutions are providing various choices to acquire blockchain technology, which is one of the most cutting edge technologies in the current period. So, ending up with our final segment, users will employ L2 chains in the next wave of DeFi, engaging freely or at near zero cost with newer DeFi apps. Let's have a look at what's getting cooked. One of the key roadblocks in DeFi applications is scalability, which has generated significant entrance obstacles. The issue of expensive gas prices has been closely tied to this, and it continues to be a major source of frustration for newcomers to the Web3 arena. These gas expenses will be low once Web3 becomes ubiquitous. The user's experience will be fully gas-free, similar to how Web 2.0 apps are. Gas prices have soared as a result of the lack of scalability and network congestion, further restricting users from executing different transactions on the blockchain. At the time of my check, the average gas price on Ethereum was roughly 146 UBI, according to a Y-charts analysis. The increasing cost of petrol has turned into a financial nightmare for ordinary Web3 customers. As a result, a solution to strengthen the decentralized finance ecosystem and make it more usable and accessible has been sought. As a result, the issue becomes, what actions can we take to cut down on petrol costs? While there are a variety of approaches that may be used to reduce and offset gas costs, the most of them boil down to either creating a new layer 1 blockchain or improving Ethereum. Layer 2 scaling techniques have also been touted as a potential answer to this problem. A network or system that runs on top of an underlying blockchain protocol to increase its scalability and efficiency is referred to as layer 2. These layer 2s employ arithmetic and encryption to safely validate transactions while providing less data to the blockchain. There are several instances, each with its own set of compromises. Some are more secure than others, and some are speedier than others. So we would now wind up with the assessment for today evening and meet you all tomorrow with even more interesting stuff. Until then, you may consider joining our Telegram channel for free crypto signals. Visit our blog linked below for guides, reviews and tutorials, and subscribe to the channel and get daily updates about the crypto market. Lastly, with this little favor of CoinMonks, we hope you stay updated. Thanks for watching and have a nice day ahead.